Hey everybody, this is Mike from EdgeNote 50 TV and welcome to the live show. If this is the first time you're watching this show, then hit that subscribe button. Or if you like the show, just hit that like button as well. The more people liking the show, the more visibility it gives to the show as well. And today, as the title suggests, we're going to be talking about Manny Pacquiao versus Adrien Broner. We're going to be talking about the fight. We're going to talk about the undercard as well, like Badou Jack versus Marcus Brown. And also, we're going to talk about Adrien Broner's mental state. We're going to talk about that too, because I want to talk about it. So, that's what we're going to be talking about today. So, let's get straight to it. How long this live show is going to be, depending on how long I'm going to go through all that stuff as well. And also, we're going to talk about the stuff around it. We're going to be talking about Deontay Wilder. Deontay Wilder was at the event as well, and he had gave people a little update on the Tyson Fury negotiations as well. And also, we had Daniel Jacobs. He was there as well, talking about, what he thinks about the Canelo fight and those kind of things as well. So we'll be talking about that too. So, yeah, let's go straight to it. So let's get started. First, let's talk about the undercard. Marcus Brown versus Badou Jack. Let's go, it was an interesting fight. It was a good fight. Marcus Brown, I had Marcus Brown winning that fight. Badou Jack was brave. The problem is with Badou Jack is, and since that he's moved up in weight, he hasn't looked as good. He struggled at the weight. He struggled at the lower weight, but since he's moved up, he's struggled, a little bit more. So he hasn't been the same Badou Jack as we've seen previously, and because of that, he's been struggling a lot. Marcus Brown, he did what he had to do. He didn't do anything special. I mean, is he going to beat the likes of Dimitri Bivol? Is he going to beat the likes of Kovalev, Elder Alvarez? Is he going to beat those kinds of fighters? I don't think he is, based on that performance. So in Badou Jack, he's like 35 years of age now. He looks like he fights like a 35 years of age guy now. And towards the end, he had damage to his head. That cut was absolutely disgusting. If you saw it on my social media, I apologize if you're a little bit squeamish, but it had to be shown. And he fought on. He's a brave fighter. Some people said it should have been stopped sooner. I believe it should have been stopped sooner as well, because that cut was just very, very bad. I mean, literally, in the corner, they were literally trying to patch that up with some cream, and that weren't flying at all. That weren't working at all. As soon as he came back out, it was bleeding everywhere. I thought Marcus Brown was injured more than Badou Jack, based on how much blood was squirting out. It was like a horror movie in there. So I think that fight should have been stopped sooner. Badou Jack is a warrior. Even though with that injury, he didn't let it affect him. He still carried on, tried to force the fight, tried to fight on the inside. He still tried to do his best, but I think that overall, that cut did affect him in regards to he wasn't able to see with all the blood coming down his face. So he did his best, but in the end, Marcus Brown deserved to win that fight overall. The quality of the fight was it was a decent fight. Would any of these guys be decent challengers for world heavyweight titles? No. I mean, I can't see the guys beating Bivol. Can't see them beating Elder Alvarez. And the WBC champion, who knows with that guy? I mean, Marcus Brown is, I think the Marcus Brown is due to be mandatory for his belt. So that would be a decent fight. Obviously the guy that beat Stevenson, I don't know the guy's pronounce his name, but he looked decent, but I don't know if he's the best. He's probably the weakest out of all the belt holders right now at that weight division. So it just depends on how that goes. So, and how long until the mandatory gets called, because normally with WBC, with mandatories, it takes their time for it to come on. I think someone's jumped on. Who's jumped on?
Slow plays, man.
Hey, Low Plays, how's it going?
Yeah, I didn't know what link I was clicking. I'm listening. Let me. What I was asking you, what topics you had going? What topics you had going?
Oh yeah, man. We're talking about the Manny Pacquiao versus Broner, and also we're talking about Adrian Broner's state of mind. So that's what we're talking about. But right now, I'm talking about the Marcus Brown and Badou Jack fight at the moment. Just reviewing over that. So basically, so yeah, all in all, I think that I mean whether that gets called or not, and whether he fights, is depends on the WBC. The WBC takes long for to call their mandatories, as you can see with Dominic Brazil. He's mandatory for over a year now, and it still hasn't been called. So whether that happens or not, I don't know. But overall, Marcus Brown, Badou Jack, decent fight, and and good, and obviously wishing Badou Jack well with his injury, and see where he goes from there. I mean, Badou Jack is still a name, so it'd be a decent name for any of the top, the top people in that division right now for him to face. So we have to wait and see. And so let's go to the main event. You got Manny Pacquiao versus Adrien Broner. Now, in regards to that fight itself, it was a interesting fight. It was, it was a decent fight for Pacquiao. Uh, a lot of people were there. I'm surprised there's a lot of people out there that are still expecting more from Adrien Broner. I'm reading the comments and I'm seeing like a lot of clips from these boxers, and they're still coming out with saying, "Oh, Broner has the potential. If only he let his hands go." And I think that the reality is that people need to realize is that Adrien Broner, this is it. This is the best you're gonna get. Like Gillette, yeah, it's like Gillette. It's the best you're gonna get from David Broner right now, from Adrien Broner right now. He ain't gonna get better than this. We've been asking Adrien Broner to let his hands go for centuries now. It hasn't happened. Yeah, we have to face facts. Adrien Broner is not at that level where he's fighting when he fights the top tier guys. You know, he's just not that boxer. We see the potential. We saw it in the lower weight divisions. Everyone wanted him to be that guy, the next Floyd Mayweather, but he just hasn't got it. He just doesn't have it. And people need to stop talking about, oh, he should have done this, he should have done that. Even if he let his hands go a little bit, I still don't think he would have beaten Pacquiao. Pacquiao is just a different level of fighter. Even at 40 years of age, he's just a different level of fighter. Now, did Adrien Broner do a better performance than his last performance? Yes, he did a better performance. He wasn't hanging on the ropes like he normally does. He was, during the jab, he was trying to counter punch. However, I feel like he was trying to do the Floyd Mayweather where he was counter punching, but he doesn't have the skill or the ability to do that. The reasons why Adrien Broner lost this fight is because, number one, he was trying to counter punch. And number two, when he did counter punch, he was only throwing one punch, and that was it. Whereas Manny Pacquiao was throwing multiple punches at once. And not only was he throwing multiple punches, he was throwing multiple punches in bunches. For example, he would throw a punch towards the body, and then he'll quickly throw another punch up above to the face as well. So he'll do combinational punches. So if Broner throws one punch, Pacquiao will throw 2, 3, 4 punches. So on the scorecards, it was always going to be Manny Pacquiao winning those rounds. And when he did try to engage, then Pacquiao, countered him and hit him and hurt him. Like, I think it was in the 9th round or the 10th round. He got hit and he went back. And he tried to engage that round, but he got hit and he went back. And as soon as he got hit, he went back. That's it. He retreated back to his defensive stance. And he was like jabbing again. Because he knew if he engaged, he was going to get hurt. He would have got, if he engaged with Pacquiao, he would have got knocked out because Pacquiao was too fast for him, too slick for him. Now Pacquiao, what did we learn from Pacquiao that we didn't learn before? Pacquiao is still very good at 40 years of age. He's going to be very tough to beat at 40 years of age still. And at 40 years of age, he will give a lot of the welterweights big problems. big problems, a lot of the welterweights. I think he will, I mean, like, obviously he was talking about Floyd Mayweather. He wants Mayweather next, but I don't know if that fight's going to happen. And if I was Floyd Mayweather, I wouldn't be too keen to get into that fight anyways. He's made his money. He's making $9 million for sparring sessions against Japanese guys. I don't see why the need, all the motivation or drive to come back and do a full camp and fight Pacquiao again. I don't see the drive and motivation for him to do that. So realistically, let's look at the PBC stable and look at what is happening right now in that welterweight division. You've got Errol Spence. He's fighting Mikey Garcia. Now, the winner of that fight, that could be a possibility for Manny Pacquiao. If Manny Pacquiao, I'm probably guessing he's hoping that Mikey Garcia wins that fight, because Spence is a different proposition altogether, and his size alone will be a big problem for Pacquiao. You got Keith Thurman. Now, that'll be a very interesting fight. I would like to see Keith Thurman fight fight Pacquiao. Now, don't be surprised if Keith Thurman, after he beats Josecito Lopez, calls out Manny Pacquiao afterwards. I think he would fancy that fight, and I think that'll be a good name on his resume. You know, coming back from a 2-year layoff to fight someone like Pacquiao and get and that would be on pay-per-view as well. And that would make, and if he beats Pacquiao on pay-per-view, that'll make Thurman a pay-per-view star easily. Do you know what I mean? So that'll be a good possibility. You've got, Danny Garcia. You've got him as well. So that's a good possibility for him to fight. You've got Sean Porter. Sean Porter's done a recent show on Fox Sports where they were talking about, no. I want Manny Pacquiao. I want Errol Spence. So Sean Porter is in the mix as well. So there's lots of possibilities. Now, if I was to say my pick for Manny Pacquiao to say next, I would say, what would I say? I would say Sean Porter would be a good fight. And I would say Keith Thurman would be a good fight. If I was Manny Pacquiao's management team and I was to navigate, I would say those two fights would be next. And I would personally go for Sean Porter, because I would say he's the weakest out of the two. And he's got a belt. He's got a proper belt. You know, Manny Pacquiao, he's got a belt, but it's the regular. It's not the real belt. It's a fake belt. So it's not a real belt. So if he wants a real belt, the easiest out of all the belt holders right now is Sean Porter. So Sean Porter would take it. That'll be on pay-per-view. And there'll be a possibility for him to get a WBC belt. So if I was Pacquiao's position, I'll go for Sean Porter next. And I wouldn't be surprised if you see Manny Pacquiao versus Sean Porter after. Yeah? So that's what I personally would predict if I was to guess, based on looking at the options out there for him. So, so that's in regards to Manny Pacquiao and, what the position that he's in at the moment. So let's look at, Adrien Broner. Let's talk about his state of mind, his mental state. Now, I got this video clip. I don't know if I'm allowed to play it or not because of legality. I don't know, but fuck it, I'm gonna play it anyways and see what happens. Yeah, but I can't eloquent this by words. I think you guys have to see it. If you guys on my social media, you guys have probably already seen it already. Edgenote50 TV on my social media. If you haven't, then I'm going to play it now, and you're going to see exactly what Adrien Broner's been saying. You probably have seen it or heard it, but hey, you just have to see it to believe it. So I'm going to play this out for you guys. Let's play this.
I beat him. Everybody out there know I beat him.
If you ask me, I feel like I won the fight.
Everybody out there know I beat him. I controlled the fight. He was missing. I hit him clean more times. I beat him.
I'm not about to sit here. I'm not about to sit here and with a sad face.
You averaged 8 punches
less than 8 punches was the most punches that you had in the round, and it seemed as though you couldn't get close enough.
It already sounded like you was against me, so I already ain't got a fair shake talking to you. But let me turn around.
I'm alright. I'm alright. And I will be back, and I will be champion again.
And you run again?
And all you motherfuckers will still tune in.
You know, so I don't know if you guys heard that or not. Yeah, so, but anyways, yeah. If you guys liking this so far, hit that like button. If you guys watching this for the first time, hit that subscribe button. But yeah. But like, so you guys heard that, yeah? Now, when I watched that, I was like, is this guy joking? Is this guy like serious? Is this guy just trying to play a prank on everybody? Like, what's going on? You know, like, and then the more it went on, the more he carried on about it, the more I realized, do you know what? This guy is actually serious. This guy actually believes in what he's saying. He is absolutely 100% in his mind convinced that he won this fight. Now, there's a few reasons for that. The problem with Adrien Broner is this. I think this is not really, I don't think it's 100% his fault. I don't blame Adrien Broner for the way he's coming out like that. I blame his corner, and I blame his team for putting delusions in this guy's mind. That's what I believe was happened. I watched the fight. I saw the corner. The corner was Adrien Broner. Adrien Broner is coming out in the corner saying, "Oh, I'm winning, right? I won that fight, right? I was winning it, right? Yeah, right? I was winning it. Yeah, yeah." And the corner was like, yeah, you're winning it. You're winning it. Yeah. I'm like, and I was like, really? Like, really? Are you guys absolutely serious? Are you guys actually convinced? Or are you guys saying it because you're afraid of your jobs? You're afraid that Adrien Broner will sack your ass if you don't say the answer that he wants to hear. That's the question. That's what I was thinking. Because if your corner, the whole point of having a cornerman is your corner to guide you through the fight. The corner is supposed to be there to tell you the truth, to tell you what's really going on in the fight. I can understand when you're a boxer, you're so involved in the fight, you might think you're winning, you might think you're losing, but you're not 100% sure. So then you have your cornerman, the people in the corner, to be in your ear after each round saying, do you know what, you're behind. You need to really push it. Or do you know what, you're winning. You need to slow down, or yeah, you know, oh yeah, you need to go for the knockout in the last round because you're way behind the scorecards. They're there to discuss tactics and to steer you on the right course. But it looked like the team that was with Adrien Broner in that corner was telling him that he was winning that fight. So if you're being told by your corner that you're winning that fight, carry on doing what you're doing, that's what he's going to do. He's going to carry on doing what he was doing and thinking that he's going to win the fight. In the last round, he was just running around in the ring, running around like he was winning the fight. I was like, are you serious? But then I was thinking, and people's easy to blame Broner. Yeah, Broner's part to blame. He must have known he lost that fight. He must have known he lost that fight. But at the same time, the corner needs to be real with him and tell him, do you know what? You're losing. You're losing the fight. Punch more. Throw more combinations. Attack more. Go for the knockout. You're losing on points. So at the end of the day, it's very much Adrien Broner's fault, but it's more so the corner's fault. If I'm Adrien Broner right now, when I go back home, review the fight, and then realized that you lost cleanly. There's no debate. You lost. You've lost the fight. Then you need to go and sack your whole team. Sack your trainer. Sack your cornerman. Sack the guy that puts all the cut man. Sack your management team. Sack the owner of AB Promotions, that dude on the phone all the time at the press conferences. You need to sack every single one of them yes men, because they're not telling you the truth. They're not telling you what's really going on. You did not do well enough to win that fight. You weren't good enough. You weren't training. You said you trained. That's great. Everybody can train, but you have to convert that into the ring. And you need to go back again. And no, and let's put this clearly, and no, people ain't going to put you on pay-per-view again. In the UK, we watched this for free. In the UK, we didn't pay for this. So I'm okay. I don't mind. But if I'm living in the States and I have to pay $75 for this, I will be pissed. I will be pissed off. Because in the UK, we're getting this for free. And they have to fork out £75 to watch, $75 to watch that. Pay-per-view will be dead if any more shows like that come. Any more mismatches are going to be like that. And you know what? And when I watched that, it made me think of Mikey Garcia versus Spence. Because Mikey Garcia is going up 2 weight divisions to fight Errol Spence. And if Errol Spence washes this guy out, washes Mikey Garcia out, which I don't think it will happen, I think it'll be competitive. But if it happens, then people are going to be going, why am I spending £75 for this? So people at PBC and Showtime need to think very carefully about what events they're putting on pay-per-view. Me, I don't mind. I'm getting it for free. I ain't gonna complain. If it's a good fight, bad fight, I don't care. I ain't paying for that. But if I pay $75 for that, I ain't getting my money's worth. I ain't gonna be happy whatsoever. So, anyways, that's my thing on it. If Adrien Broner is delusional, as he's losing his mind, I think he is losing his mind. But I think part of that is to do with his people around him. When you get lots of yes people around you, people that are afraid to tell you the truth because they're afraid of their jobs, and they're afraid that if I go against Adrien Broner, I'm not going to get some of that cash money that he's paying me to be part of his crew, then that's when you have a problem. The key for success is having a real team around you that ain't afraid to tell you the truth. Even if it means it's against what you think, then you need to have the harsh reality. It's called tough love, man. It's called tough love. That's what it means. So at the end of the day, that's what Adrien Broner needs. If I was him, that's what I would do. If he's serious about wanting to become a contender, he has got talent, but his talent is wasted. Yes, he's made a lot of money. Yes, he's made a lot of money and he can retire on loads of money. But his legacy, is he going to be a Hall of Famer? I don't think he will be a Hall of Famer. All the big fights he's been in, he's lost. He's lost all the big fights he's been in. So at the end of the day, is he going to be a Hall of Famer fighting people that we don't know or care about? I don't think he will be a Hall of Famer, which is a shame. Because he had the potential and he's lost it. He's let money and his people around him convince him that he's the billion-dollar Mayweather, the heir to Mayweather, when he's not. He's the fake weather. I saw something in the social media. It says AB, about billions, and it says AB about problems. Because that's all he is. Problems. He is the problem. Loads of problems, and not in the positive sense. So anyways, that's my thing on the whole situation on Pacquiao versus Broner. So yeah, overall, I think Pacquiao did very well. I'm looking forward to see where Pacquiao goes from here. And as for Adrien Broner, I don't give a... He can do wherever he wants. I don't really care if I watch Broner again. I don't really care, to be honest with you. That's it. Let's move on to... Let's let him fight on undercards somewhere else and do wherever he wants. I'm not going to watch Broner again anyways until he fixes up his attitude. But anyways, let's talk about the things going on around the event. Let's talk about, I'm going to talk a little bit about Deontay Wilder, because Deontay Wilder was there as well. And he spoke a little bit to a couple of the people there. And they were talking about the Tyson Fury negotiations, how that's going. And he said something very interesting. He was saying that in regards to the negotiations, that is going very well, and he's expecting it to happen. So based on Deontay Wilder, he seems like there's no worries on his end, and that he expects the fight to be happening. So that's very interesting news. Contrary to what Eddie Hearn is saying, it looks like it will be Deontay Wilder versus Tyson Fury 2, and that's going to be happening in April, in May. So it seems like that's going to be happening unless Eddie Hearn can pull something out the bag and make something happen. But that looks like that fight is going to happen based on what Deontay Wilder is saying. Based on that, look, if it happens, look, it'll be an interesting fight. It'll be a good fight, and I believe, you know, that'll be an entertaining fight to watch. So, and I'd want to see that fight. The first fight was very entertaining, and I'd want to see the second fight happen. So, yeah, you know, look, everyone knows I personally want AJ Wilder, but if it's not happening, you know, then Wilder Fury is not a bad second option. So that's why I think personally on that one. And then you got Daniel Jacobs. He was there as well, talking about the Canelo fight. You know, he's happy. He didn't think that Canelo was going to take the fight. He thought he was going to fight somebody else, not Jacobs. So he's happy that Canelo took the fight. And you have to give Canelo props, because he didn't have to take this fight. He has lots of options, and he's decided to go for Jacobs. And Jacobs thinks he's got the tools to beat him. He thinks he's bigger, longer, you know, faster than Triple G. And he thinks he'll cause more problems to Canelo than Triple G did in both of those fights. So, you know, he's very confident. He's very happy. He's settled. He's going to make millions from this fight. And it's a fight I can't wait to see. And you know me already. Yeah. When that fight comes on, I'm going to be talking about it for sure. So anyways, that's all I want to talk about. Anyways, I just want to talk about the boxing, talk about Pacquiao and Broner, and just talk about that show. If you guys liking the show, hit that like button. If you're the first time listening to this show, hit that subscribe button. I'm doing shows on the regular. And anyone who wants to put in the comments about what you want me to talk about, let me know, and I'm going to talk about it. Thanks a lot, guys. I'll be on again soon. Watch this space on my social media and everything like that, yeah? Cool.